Hey, I want to welcome everybody to our Unconventional Wisdom podcast, Unconventional Wisdom, the CSE podcast. Our website's compoundstockearnings.com. Go to our website and you can sign up for our cow report, which we'll talk about a little later. We've got our almost full house here. We have Randy and Keith, and we have Tony will not be here. We have Micah, and Micah, you can see him, but he's having audio problems right now, so he may not have a lot to say. Although he did do some trades today, and I know what those were, so I can talk about those. No particular big news event today. So he may not have a lot to say.
I got it figured out.
Okay, we hear Mike. We hear.
Yeah, I muted him because he's making too much noise.
Oh, you mean he's been working so we can hear him? Now you mute him. What kind of deal is that? He's been working so we could hear him, and now you mute him.
Well, did you hear how much noise is in his room? I'll unmute him if you want.
Yeah, those young kids, they get lots of noise.
There you go. Now he's unmuted.
But did you hear how much noise is in his room?
Yeah, well, the problem is he's
I'll unmute him if you want.
Yeah, those young kids, they get lots.
Okay, so I muted. So he's listening to us on the podcast, so it's delayed. So
Yeah.
we'll keep him muted until he really wants to talk.
Okay, can you hear us?
Yeah, so you can hear us. Just a little,
Okay,
little bit
Mike,
delayed.
when we decide to be quiet, we'll catch you on so you can talk. Anyhow, again, I want to welcome everybody. Go to our website, compoundstockearnings.com. If you want to call in today, it's 214-377-1108, 214-377-1108. Call in, and you can talk to any of us and ask any questions you might want to ask. So I know that Tony was out today, so he wasn't on the seminar that they do each morning. Micah did trades this morning, a 3.4% on Apple and a 5.4%. Actually, the 5.4% was a loss of 2.6 and a plus of 3 and a plus of 5 on Apple. So, Randy, what is going on out there in Phoenix? And I know you're having good weather, and I know the bad weather's kind of come through here and heading up toward where Keith is. If he doesn't already have it, he will soon. What's going on, Randy?
Yeah, well, we're having beautiful weather out here. It hasn't even got to 100 in the last couple of weeks, and that's amazing for the very end of May. Yeah, it's just gorgeous weather here. So it'll be nice if it just keeps up. So maybe all the bad weather's heading your way, and we're just getting all the good stuff over here.
It's past us, I think, as of yesterday. So.
Yeah, but things are going good. Of course, the market's kind of heading down a bit. It tried to get up today, but it's heading back to. Looks like it might go red here in a bit. But that's the beauty of the compound stock earnings techniques. So I provide training and services on two of our techniques. One is the advanced charting platinum service. The other is the covered call platinum service. And so with the covered calls, we can generate weekly income whether the market's going up or down. So even in this week when the market's going down, we're making good income on the weekly fast cashes. And that's one of the techniques that is taught in our 2-day seminar. And so we can generate income while the stocks go up and down. We don't have any control over stocks going up and down. It's going to do that. It's done it for the entire life of the stock market, and I anticipate it's probably going to keep doing that. It doesn't just keep going up. It doesn't just keep going down. It goes up and down. So we take advantage of those ups and downs in the market. So when it's going up, we do entry on new covered calls to generate weekly income. When it's going down, then we sell weekly fast cashes against those long positions that we bought, waiting for the stocks to go back up. So whether it goes up or down is just fantastic. We provide weekly coaching sessions. That's what we call our platinum service, where you get to see live in the market while we're teaching how we do the entries on whether it's going up or whether it's going down, how we select new positions, and how we manage existing positions to generate income. So if you own a stock and the market starts going down, we don't sell it for a loss. We just keep generating income against that asset, just like renting out your house. And as the price goes back up, then you can sell it for a profit afterwards. But still, we can generate cash added to your account on a weekly basis using the compound stock earnings technique. So it's a great time to be doing that. With those platinum services, with the weekly coaching, which is live in the market, and then those sessions are recorded so that you can watch them later on even. But we also provide alerts for any time that we're planning on implementing one of the techniques. We send an alert out that says, this is what we're going to do. This is why we're doing it. Here's what we're expecting for the outcome. And then we place those positions directly in our own live accounts. And then after they get filled, then we send a secondary alert, a follow-up alert that says, here's the actuals that took place. And so it's a great way to learn hands-on by following along step by step by step as we manage our own accounts for our own profits.
There you go. And you know, you've been doing this for an awfully long time.
Yeah.
Awfully long time.
12 years. 12
years. And a lot of people get it. I mean, you know, and you get, I know you get multiple emails a day with when you've created and managed or exit positions. And it's just incomprehensible to me why every investor on the face of the earth doesn't subscribe to your service. Same way with Keith. That's a little different technique. We'll have him talk about it in a minute. And then Tony and Micah down there with their micro moment trading, where they're only in for a few seconds to a minute or so and out and done, and have all their cash back. And like I mentioned, his returns, and you guys' returns, they all run about, running about the same for each technique. But for people with different time restraints, people different just what they like to do better, you know, the traditional covered call has always been fantastic. It's one that I've always said leads to extreme narcotics and dope addiction, because once you enter a trade, there's not much to do. You just kind of sit there. If you do, I wonder if anybody, Randy, does the old traditional. They enter position on the first of the month and wait until the third Friday, and just cut the computer off and don't do anything until Monday, third Friday.
Most people aren't doing that, because now that we have weekly options, you know, when the market keeps making our positions and our techniques better and better. When weekly options were introduced, back in about 2010 or 2011, that just made it to where now they only have to, you know, be kind of mundane for just a week. They can make profits every single week instead of waiting for a whole month. So it makes it even that much better to be able to generate income on a weekly basis.
Absolutely. So Keith, you may have your mic cut off. There you go. You may have it on now. So bring us up to date on what you're doing, and kind of give a comparison maybe with your technique versus the mechanics of it, not the returns and all that, but just the mechanics of what's different.
Yeah, sure, Joe.
Like yours is his.
Yeah, sure, Joe. I head up the weekly credit spread service, platinum service. And more recently, given the volatility of the market, I've been concentrating on the CSM, or the credit spread momentum trades. And even those have been few and far between with the volatility. So as always, we have to be aware of what the market conditions are, what's going on there. And so I've gone back, if you remember in the roundup that I did when I first presented the technique, I had both the short-term and a long-term version of that. And on the long-term version is what I've been trading. It's just a lot easier to do. It's easier to get the alerts out and all. But I'm rethinking that. I'm going back and looking at some of the new charting techniques, given the CSE charting tools, to do the short-term CSM. So I'm still not as fast as the trade the moment kind of things, but I'm in. I don't know, the ones I was looking at yesterday, I was probably in for 15 minutes to 30 minutes. So in that kind of time frame, and getting like 20 plus percent return on that. So I'm real excited about that. I'm hoping to present that technique to my clients on the webinar, which I do every Tuesday from noon to 1:30 East Coast time. So I'll talk about that, and I've got some screen captures on some of the charts, and we'll look at that there. But I'm really excited about that in combining both the CSM charts and the ICE charts for doing that trading.
Okay, fantastic. Let me say again, if you have a chance, check out our website, compoundstockearnings.com. Sign up for the Cow Report, which is absolutely free. It's been published now for close to 20 years, over 20 years, and it comes out every Friday. It'll come out tomorrow. It's dated on a Saturday, but comes out on a Friday. It has all the emails from all our clients with comments from these gentlemen that you see on here today, what their comments are and how they help people out. And you can see what people are really doing, what the returns are, what problems they have or don't have, and how they get help. And just go to compoundstockearnings.com. It's the free Cow Report. Also on that website is all our seminars and the explanation of everything we do and when we do them. There's a timetable on there and which ones have maybe some free look time or whatever. And that's on compoundstockearnings.com website. Again, the phone number is 214-377-1108 if you want to call in and direct a question to any of these gentlemen here or myself.
Hey, Joe, one other thing too. I'd gotten an email question maybe a week and a half ago, which I forgot to bring up last week, asking if the charting tools that we use, at least in my service, predict both up momentums and down momentums. And the answer is absolutely. And just like Randy was saying, we can trade in up markets and down markets, and just following the charts. And there's ways to do that trading and looking at the charts to do that. So absolutely, the charts support looking at the direction of the market itself too.
Okay, fantastic. How much do you think you're kind of up so far this year? This is what are we into the month? No, we're into the 6th month, I guess, right?
Yeah, just finishing the 5th month. Yeah, I would say I'm up somewhere in 55% so far for the year, and that hasn't been trading much. So I think looking back at the short-term trades, I can start getting into more trades again.
Okay, great. What about you, Randy? Your mic's still.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, and you can see that all of us we keep like moving like we're looking at other places because we're constantly following the charts and watching the market even as we're talking, because we can find places to get into trades and send out alerts and things like that. We're averaging on almost all the positions somewhere in the 3% per week return overall. So that includes the covered calls as well as the advanced charting platinum. So it's been a good year so far.
Absolutely fantastic, and we're only halfway there. I'm gonna now see the nice thing about Mike and not being able to say anything. I think this is good for a guy that's just on here, just starting out on this podcast. It says restrict what they can say. So we just look at him and make fun of him and stuff like that. And he can't say anything back. Just on here, just starting out on this podcast. It says restrict what they can say. So we just look at him and make fun of him and stuff like that. He can't say anything back. Just on here, just starting out on this podcast. Yeah, Mike, we have you on there. You can say something. We hear you now. Oh, well, forget that. I'll just explain what now Michael's service is, since he can't talk for himself here on this, right now. This is Micro Moment, which is sort of a offshoot from Randy's momentum trades, which are a little longer. The Micro Moments are really fast. Their seminars in the morning, starts when the market opens. It really kind of runs all day, but it's in segments. Sometimes he and Tony just don't have any positions shaping up, so they just kind of stop. But the screen stays up there, the chart stays up there until the market closes. And if they decide to come back, they see something, they want to come back and do something, then a text message is sent to all the subscribers that they're coming back, and they give you plenty of time to get back to your screen, which is you probably left on, and then you can turn around and they'll come back with a new deal. For instance, I think Micah did yesterday, one trade in the morning for around 3%, and then came back and did three more trades or three more trades in the afternoon. Well, notice was sent out so those people could come back if they wanted to and mirror those trades. Today he did about four trades. One netted out 3.4%, the other netted out 5.4%. So fantastic, almost 9%, 8.5% for today. And that particular technique is one where we projected our goal is to make 1% per week. 1% per week, that's all. And if you do that and you do it for 20 years, at the end of the 20 years, you got right around 30 million bucks. And you start off with $1,000 and you never put another penny in the account. That's compounding for you. I got an email from some outfit that just discovered compounding, and it's really like some Wall Street Journal outfit, and they're always behind. Anyhow, they go on and on and on about the power of compounding and how significant and what an incredible thing it is, just like they had just discovered it. They talk about how you can compound at 1 or 2% a year, and look how it's going to grow 1 or 2% a year, because that's probably about the best they can do. It's probably written by a mutual fund guy, and just incredible how the street is so out of touch with what's available. And the reason they are is things change in the brokerage and the financial industry very slowly, and they've just not caught up with what's available. I know when I was at Merrill Lynch, and when I left Merrill Lynch, we actually went into chart rooms to get big old charts and take them back to the desk. Those charts were updated once a week or so. And now, of course, you got instant charting. You got our proprietary charting, which is just incredible. All these guys use it. And it's instant. It's telling you when to get in and when to get out of deals. But back in the day, and it wasn't that long ago, none of that existed. The commissions were astronomical. Now they have firms with no commissions. Even Merrill Lynch has a no commission branch. Just incredible stuff, and it enables people to get substantially higher returns. I always get tense because they're doing it themselves. They've learned the CSE way, where most brokers are kind of brain dead. They don't know much to start with, based on my experience of knowing a lot of brokers. So I'm not talking out of school here. I mean, I know these guys. You can't talk to them very well because they're kind of stupid, but they're typical brokers. And if they can make 2 or 3% a year, they're going to make you think that they're, a godsend. So, but anyhow, I don't know why I ran rave about that article. The other thing I was going to talk about, I didn't, was I love Tesla, and I know that Marcus, our engineer here, who's conducting this right now, is a big self-driving car person. I would love to have a Tesla car. However, I think they're not going to make it. I think that the guy that runs it, I know he's a billionaire, but he is so erratic. And just the last couple of days, I mean, he's changing production. He's changing, closing down places, opening places, laying off people, bringing in people, laying off people, bringing in people. They just recently lost their chief financial guy. And he's just a weird, crazy person. But a great product, but I don't know if it's going to be able to survive him. He's in trouble with the SEC constantly. And the last couple of days, I mean, I get all these articles every day. He just totally changed me. Just totally, closing down a plant, opening a plant, closing down a plant, and just crazy stuff. So they won't make it, but maybe the company will survive in the long run.
But self-driving cars will go on after him.
Now that's the voice. You notice that's Marcus. He's the voice. He's the blob on your screen. He doesn't turn on his camera, so when he speaks, if you look at that, it says compound stock earnings in the center of your screen.
That's right.
It kind of goes back and forth. So we call Marcus the blob.
That's right.
Because after just look at that, he's the blob.
Yeah, Elon Musk and Tesla, their days may be numbered.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just I mean, that business is a tough business, and you just don't, weekly change, close and open plants and change models, and just to try to determine what they're selling. One day they're closing all of their retail out, all the people that sell their cars, and then 2 weeks later they hire them all back.
Right.
It's just totally, absolutely. Somewhere between he made all that money when he was with it, PayPal, I suppose somewhere he became retarded. I think maybe something happens like that you think you're doing well and it's just one of those things that happen that you don't know you have. It's sort of like some disease. And it's just sort of a stupid disease. But anyhow, yeah, I hope he makes it, but I don't think he'll make it I don't think Tesla will make it. Maybe somebody else will buy him, and then they'll make it. Certainly got a good car, but I like the fact that the car, if somebody starts messing around with it, starts recording everything and reports it to them. And so there's been instances where the police have actually come out to a car. The owner didn't know what was going on and he wasn't tuned into it, but it reported it, and somehow or another got to the police and people came over.
Yeah, they've definitely made a bunch of improvements that'll be carried forward. I mean, they're the first ones, I think. They update their car online. You just get your updates just like your computer, just that they, and so like most recently, they updated to give even more self-driving capabilities, and they just send out a patch, and that's all it takes.
Marcus, they update and unupdate 2 or 3, 4 times a week.
Do they?
Yeah, absolutely. You're just not staying on top of it.
No, I'm not going to defend Tesla. I mean, no. I will defend self-driving cars.
You're into the deal like the ride share, which will never work. You're not gonna, how's that ever going to work? You're sitting at home and you're a lady, you got a baby. Well, when you travel, I mean, you got baby carriages, you got chairs, how are you going to call up a self-driving car is going to come over there? How long is it going to take you to move all that stuff into the car? It's like moving a home.
Right.
Most Americans with kids live in their car. Just look at their cars; they're a mess. And who would want to put it in rideshare? A car that's going to get devastated by some sloppy people. It's just incredible stuff. Oh well, that's the expert opinion for the day. My editorial. Does anybody else have any brilliant things they'd like to say? We'll call this show to an end. No brilliance? I say we can't.
The headsets. When we have connection problems or something that you can't hear and all, need to get us Mickey headsets.
There we go. Keith's got Captain Keith headsets back on again, so he's flying his jet there.
There you go. Well, okay. Thanks for everybody being here. And Mike, I know you can hear us. Sorry you couldn't speak, but I kind of like the fact that I can abuse you like this and beat up on you, and these guys can abuse you and beat up on you too. And it's okay because you're a young guy. I mean, we're older, more experienced at beating up on people and abused them. So now Mike had just moved, however, to Seattle, and I'm confident he moved from Wyoming or somewhere like that to Montana, somewhere to Seattle, and I'm confident from what I've been reading about Seattle that he is living on the street. In fact, he may be leasing one of those parking spaces that the city of San Francisco started doing. They lease parking spaces so they can live in that space. And I don't know how much they lease them for, not a whole lot. So, okay. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Send us an email at podcast, compoundstockearnings.com if you want to tell us something by email that we can address at a later show. So, Micah, thank you. Randy, thank you. And Keith, thank you guys for being here. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.
Okay. All right. Bye.